What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about where you can find dirt cheap homes with land in and around the Winston-Salem area. And I saved the cheapest for last. Let's get into the video. My name is Ramon Lamelli. I'm a local realtor and the team leader of the Smart Move Group, brokered by eXp Realty here in Winston-Salem, as well as all the surrounding areas. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to make this video for you guys today is because I'm getting a lot of people coming over here from other parts of the country, and a lot of them actually want to move here because they want some space to spread out, a little bit of land, a little bit of privacy, but none of them want to be too far from the city. So I've identified some areas that are still close to the city, affordable, and you still get a lot of land. That's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Before we do jump into it though, I just want to remind you, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all that I can do to help, please feel free to reach out, shoot me a text, give me a call. The number on the screen is my cell phone number. It comes to no one else but me. I'm going to leave some awesome links in the about section of this video, including the Winston-Salem relocation guide, as well as all of my social media handles in case you want to be my friend on TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook. Oh, and of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Really helps the channel, keeps me motivated to keep pumping out these videos for you. And don't get me wrong, it is possible to find homes with land inside of Winston-Salem, or at least in the rural areas of Winston-Salem, but it's going to cost you. Over 188 homes have sold inside of Winston-Salem with 1 acre or more so far in the last 12 months. And the average of that was $416,000, and the average acreage was 2.88. So when you look at it from other places, it's actually not that bad, but we could do much better. I've done a ton of research on the MLS, and I've identified 5 areas that you're going to really want to know about. These are all areas where you're going to get more bang for your buck, and you're also going to be shocked at how affordable homes with land can really be in this area. Make sure you stick around all the way to the end because I left the cheapest for last. So up first, we're going to talk about the lovely town of Boonville, North Carolina. Now, Boonville, North Carolina is in Yadkin County, which is well known for their wine, the Yadkin Valley wine region. It's got a lot of great history there, a lot of great outdoorsy things to do, and it's only about 35 minutes away from Winston-Salem. Now, Boonville does have a very small population, and it doesn't have a ton of things to do or nightlife or a ton of major restaurants or anything in the area, but it is a quaint little town that's beautiful. You got to drive through there if you're ever in the area, and it's close to a lot of things to do. Now, overall, Boonville is a very affordable place to live, and the average price point that homes are selling there is about $255,000. Now, if we add homes with land, so 1 acre or more, we've had about 17 listings sell in the last 12 months, which is not a ton, but it is a small town, so keep that in mind. The average price point was $271,000, but get this, you get on average over 9 acres per home sold. I mean, those average numbers are crazy. Just around 270,000 would get you over 9 acres. Now let's talk about the town of Yadkinville, North Carolina. Now, Yadkinville and Boonville do share a border. Yadkinville is in the same county, Yadkin County, as Boonville, and Yadkinville is a little bit closer to Winston-Salem, so we're getting closer, which is good. We're only about 22 miles or about 25-30 minutes away from Winston-Salem. Once again, small population, not quite as small as Boonville, but now we have a little bit more restaurants, a lot more shopping centers, gas station, things to do. There's a couple bars, a couple things there, a couple parks too that are really nice. Another great outdoorsy type town if you're into that thing. And of course, Yadkin Valley wine region. You got some great wine selections and wineries all throughout that area. Yadkinville would be the big small town of that county of Yadkin County. In Yadkinville, we do have a larger selection of homes with land. So we had 41 homes that sold in the last 12 months that sold with 1 acre or more. And the average price point for those was $298,000. But get this, every single home came with an average of 4.14 acres. So over 4 acres per home sold on average. Not only do you get more land with the homes in Yadkinville, but the home price itself is about 28% cheaper than the average price point in Winston-Salem. All right, guys, now we're going to talk about highly sought after Walkertown, North Carolina. Walkertown happens to be a small town inside of Forsyth County, so the same county as Winston-Salem, which is obviously the big city here. Small town, very spread out, small population, not a ton of things to do, but they do have their own identity. They do have their own, things going on too, separate from Winston-Salem, which I think is nice when little towns have their own little parades, their own events, their own little sports teams and things of that nature. So I do enjoy that part of it. They do have a ton of locally owned restaurants and shops and all kinds of stuff. They have a cute little downtown too. And honestly, you're only about 7.8 miles away from Winston-Salem, about 10 to 15 minutes depending on traffic. So you're basically in Winston-Salem. As long as I've lived here, I've known that people love to live in Walkertown. It's a very popular area that for that reason, there's not a lot of turnover. There's less homes sell there because people generally like to go there and stay there and plant roots and stay there. And in the last 12 months, we've sold about 30 homes with 1 acre or more with an average price point of about $297,000. But get this, you usually get about 4.6 4.63 acres per home. So the average price point, $297, the average acreage per home, 4.63. I mean, these numbers are breaking my brain. These are crazy numbers. I love this. That does also happen to be about 28% cheaper than the average price point in Winston-Salem, not even including the land. So you know you're getting a great deal in Walkertown. The only problem in Walkertown is that there's not a ton of availability and homes tend to sell fast. Now let's talk about Thomasville, North Carolina, also known as Chair City. And the reason I want to bring this town to your attention is because as of late, it seems to be that new thing that everyone is gravitating towards. For years, it was Walkertown or Louisville. Before that, it was Clemens. Now people are starting to, you know, think about Thomasville because it's still up and coming. Prices are still affordable, and it's actually really centrally located in the Triad if you think about it. I mean, you got High Point right there, and then you got Greensboro 20-30 minutes one way. You got Winston 20 minutes the other way. So, I mean, all things considered, it's not a bad location. And obviously, you're getting a ton of land per home, and that's why it's on this list today. The reason that they call Thomasville Chair City is not only do they have a huge chair in their downtown area, they're also really close to High Point, which is the furniture market of the world. So essentially, a lot of the furniture that ends up in the High Point furniture market originates or starts in Thomasville. Now, surprisingly, Thomasville actually has a population of about 27,000 people as of the last census. So it's not small, and it has a really cute downtown area, but you do have a ton of both local businesses, local owners, and a lot of commercial businesses as well. But now we're getting a lot more listings because the town happens to be bigger. In the last 12 months, we have had 80 listings with 1 acre or more. The average price point of those was $288,000, and on average, you got 3.43 of an acre. So you got quite a bit of land for the price. In fact, that price is 30% cheaper than the average home price in Winston-Salem, and not to mention, you get the land as well. And now we got the last one for today, the best for last. Before we jump into it though, I gotta throw a plug in here. Do me a big favor, hit that like button, leave me a comment, but above all, subscribe. That really helps the channel. I left you some amazing links in the about section, some other resources, links to homes that are currently available in these areas, as well as all my social media handles, the relocation guide to Winston-Salem, all kinds of great stuff. And as always, please do not hesitate to reach out. This is why I do these videos. The number on the screen is my personal cell phone number. It goes to no one else but me. Last but not least, and certainly most affordable, Germantown, North Carolina. I'll go ahead and tell you, Germantown is about 36% cheaper than the average price point in Winston-Salem. Now, Germantown is only about 13 miles northeast of Winston-Salem. However, because it's all back roads to get up there, it does feel like it takes a little bit longer. It's only about 20 minutes, but it's one of those things where, you know, you ever go somewhere and it just feels like it took forever, but really only took like 20 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever it is. That's kind of Germantown. Also, like I mentioned, it's all back roads, basically getting up there. Basically just one big back road, and there's no street lights when you get out further out there. So if that bothers you, Germantown may not be the town for you. Now, Germantown is beautiful, but there is literally nothing to do in Germantown. I don't even know. I think they have like a gas station somewhere in there, but there's like nothing. Like if you're living in Germantown, you're gonna have to get your groceries or any entertainment back in Winston-Salem before you head home. Now, on the plus side, it is closer to the mountains. It is closer to Virginia. It is closer to Mount Airy than Winston-Salem is. So if any of those things appeal to you, then Germantown may be something you might want to consider. Now, because Germantown is so small, only about 16 properties with an acre or more sold in the last 12 months. But you're gonna like this. The average price point of the homes that sold in Germantown with an acre or more was about $265,000, and that came with 5.24 acres in Germantown, which is crazy to me. So in the mid 200s, you're getting over 5 acres inside of Germantown. I mean, that's nuts. And if that's not a great reason to move to Winston-Salem, then I don't know. And if you have any questions for me, like I said, don't hesitate to reach out. Literally why I do these videos. Make sure you check out some other videos on the channel, and I'll see you next week.